Okay, let's talk about the dream. You know the one, that perfect backyard oasis. Sparkling blue water, total relaxation. But if you own a pool, you know the reality can be, well, a little less dreamy and a lot more like a frustrating full-time job.
I mean, you walk outside hoping for that crystal oasis, and instead you're staring at what looks like a murky science experiment.
Oh, it happens, Chloe. And you know what? It happens way faster than people think. That dream pool can become a green nightmare practically overnight if you let your guard down for even a second.
And look, we have to get serious for a second because the stakes here are so much higher than just looks. Neglecting your pool isn't just ugly, it gets incredibly expensive fast. See that number? 70%. That's how many early equipment failures come directly from bad water chemistry. We're talking pumps, heaters, seals, all the stuff you really don't want to replace.
But don't worry, it doesn't have to be so intimidating. To get us through this, we've got a guide, a backyard hero, you might say. Everybody, meet Rooster Ray. He's here to give us a super simple, proven framework to help you take back control of your pool and your weekend. So here's the secret. It all comes down to a simple, memorable system. We call it the 5 Pillars of Care. This is going to be your new framework for getting that perfect, stress-free pool you've always wanted.
And here they are. The 5 pillars are skimming, brushing, vacuuming, filtration, and of course, the big one, chemistry. The best way to think about them is like the legs on a stool. You absolutely need all 5 working together to have a stable, clear, and safe pool. All right, then, let's kick it off with pillar 1, skimming. This seems pretty obvious, right? Just scooping out leaves and bugs.
It is basic, but honestly, it's the most powerful, proactive thing you can do. It is your absolute first line of defense. You're not just getting rid of floating junk, you're removing the organic buffet before it has a chance to sink, decay, and start feeding an algae bloom.
Okay, that makes total sense. But what about brushing? Do you really have to brush the walls and the steps every single week? It just feels like so much work, especially when the water already looks clear.
That is the million-dollar question, Chloe. And the answer is 100% yes. The real enemy is what you can't see. Algae and bacteria build this invisible, slimy fortress on all your pool surfaces. It's called biofilm. And guess what? Your chlorine can't get through it. Brushing once a week is the only thing that tears down that fortress so your sanitizer can finally do its job.
And now let's move on to pillar 3, because this is where it all connects. Once you've brushed all that invisible gunk off the walls, it settles on the floor, and that's where vacuuming comes in. But your technique is everything. I just love this quote from our source guide: move slowly. If you rush, dirt simply billows upward like feathers in a chicken fight. It's just the perfect image, right? Slow and steady is the only way to actually get the debris out. So everything you just skimmed, brushed, and vacuumed now needs to get pulled out of the water for good. That brings us to pillar number 4, filtration. Your filter is, without a doubt, the hardest working piece of equipment in your entire system. The most important thing here is to watch your pressure gauge. When that pressure jumps 8 to 10 psi above its normal clean reading, that filter is clogged and it is screaming for help. Which brings us to our final and, most crucial pillar, the one that really freaks people out. Pillar 5, water chemistry. I know, it looks complicated, but with our poolside genius, Rooster Ray, guiding us, you're gonna see it's really just about knowing and maintaining a few key numbers. Okay, let's just break it down nice and simple. This chart right here, this is your cheat sheet. You've got pH, which basically decides how well your chlorine works. Free chlorine, that's your sanitizer. Total alkalinity is a buffer that keeps your pH from bouncing all over the place. Calcium hardness protects your plaster and equipment. And cyanuric acid, think of it like sunscreen for your chlorine. It keeps the sun from burning it off.
Wow, seeing it all laid out in a simple chart like this, it actually makes it seem way less scary.
Exactly. And just to show you why it matters, let's zoom in on pH for a second. This slide shows you everything you need to know. On the left, you see a chlorine tab working perfectly in balanced water. On the right, though, with high pH, that same chlorine is basically useless. It's just sitting there. That's why we call pH the Goldilocks number. It can't be too high or too low, it has to be just right. All right, so now that we've got the 5 pillars down, let's do a quick lightning round of the most common pitfalls we see homeowners fall right into.
Okay, I'm ready, and I have a feeling I might be guilty of 1 or 2 of these.
Okay, pitfall number 1, and it's a big one. Believing that just because your water is clear, it's balanced. That beautiful sparkle, it could be lying to you. Your water can look crystal clear while the pH is so low it's silently eating your heater, or the calcium is so high it's building up scale inside your pipes. You have to test your water, period.
Okay, I've got one. What does it mean when your pool cleaner starts moving really slow or the suction from the jets just feels weak?
Ah, a classic. That's not the problem, it's a symptom of the problem. Weak suction is one of the clearest signs that your filter is clogged up and is just begging for a clean. It's basically choking the circulation for the entire pool.
And what about that foam you sometimes see on the surface? Is a little bit of foam okay? Maybe it's just a sign of a good time, right?
Haha, I wish. No, that foam is not festive. It's a full-on chemistry fail. It's a huge warning sign that you've got a ton of organic contaminants in the water, and your sanitizer just can't keep up. It's your pool waving a giant white flag telling you it needs help.
Okay, so we've gone through the tasks, the pillars, the big mistakes. But let's zoom out for the last and, I think, most important point. The real goal here isn't just to learn the tasks. It's to completely shift your mindset from seeing this as a chore to taking command of your backyard. Because here's the thing. Excellence in pool care is not about spending hours every weekend doing backbreaking labor. It's about routine. A simple, consistent schedule, we're talking 15 minutes a day, maybe, is what transforms this whole thing from a nagging chore into the proud, easy stewardship of your beautiful pool.
Because when it comes down to it, it's all about enjoying it, right?
Exactly. The real goal is to swim, laugh, and relax.
Not wage war against water.
Once you get the routine down, the only question left is, who's coming over for the first pool party?